that you're here. Thank you for being here and watching this or watching later. If you're going back and watching it later, man, it's been a great Monday so far. I've got a lot done, and I feel like that is so important to be able to really get the juice out of life, to really feel fulfillment in your life, is to be able to get a lot of is to be able to accomplish goals, right? We've all got things that we want to accomplish. We've all got goals that we want to get to, and that's different for everyone. But when you have clear goals and you're able to accomplish things, it's like rocket fuel for your life when you can accomplish things and then you use that to kind of jump off onto the next thing and to keep pushing yourself forward. That's what life's all about, right? I think it was Tony Robbins says that life isn't really about hitting those goals. You need the goals, but it's really about growth. It's really about that next step. It's about progress. That's how you really get fulfillment. But that being said, in order to get progress and in order to move forward, you do have to have goals. You have to have something that you're working toward. So on Friday, I released a video about how to have really clear goals and what having clear goals really means. And if you don't have clear goals, how to get clear goals, how to get there, how to actually get some clarity on what that actually means and what you actually want in life. That I would say that's probably one of the hardest questions for my clients to answer is when I say, what do you want? And it's such a simple question, right? It's such a simple thing. And most of us, we think we know what we want, but when we really start digging and we really start thinking, okay, what really do I want? Then it starts to get more difficult, right? So we talked about on Friday about having clear goals and having a compelling future and how to build those clear goals. So if you haven't seen that one, I would highly recommend you go back and watch that because we're going to build off of what I talked about on Friday. So we're going to build off of having clear goals. So you have your compelling future. You have this really deep-seated core why. So the why, the reason that you do what you do. And I've got videos on that as well. So you have your compelling future. You have your core why, the reason you do what you do. But how do you really get yourself to follow through day to day, right? How do you get yourself to actually, follow through on your goals? Because here's the thing. You can see this goal way out here, right? You can see this compelling future, whether it's 10, 20 years in the future, or maybe just a year in the future, however that is for you. You can have these goals, you can have these things you're pushing toward, but the problem is the day-to-day grind, right? The distractions and the things that come in and the things that take up our attention and our time. And before you know it, the day's over and excuse me, and we feel like we haven't really accomplished much toward our goals, right? So most of us do have goals. I mean, I'm sure you have aspirations, you have dreams, but again, seeing those in the distance is one thing, but making them a reality and turning them into something real and concrete that you can do something about today, those are two completely different things. Am I right? So I have a mentor that taught me something that I use literally every day of my life. He told me to audit every single thing I do, whatever it is, down to the last detail. What do you eat? What do you listen to? What do you watch? What do you read? What do you think about? Everything. So I'm still working on that. I haven't audited every last thing. I think that's a continuous process. But he said, with everything in life, I should be asking, is this bringing me closer to or further away from the person that I want to become? So I would encourage you to really adopt that today. Adopt that mindset, adopt that kind of mantra of, is what I'm doing right now, whatever it is Is it bringing me closer to the person that I want to become, the man or the woman that I want to become? Or is it bringing me further away? And this is why, excuse me, I've still got a little bit of allergies. This is where your compelling future and your why really comes in, because this action, when you say, is this action bringing me closer or further away? You're thinking about your compelling future. You're thinking about your why. Is this making it, is it bringing me closer to that compelling future? Is it putting things in place? Am I creating a ladder to actually get there, or is it pulling me further away? So then the last step to this is anchoring each of those actions. So it depends on what the action is, but here's the thing. Humans do things for really two basic reasons, right? To either move away from pain or to move toward pleasure, right? Good morning, Grammy Goose. Great to see you here. Great to see everyone. Thank you for being here. But so anyway, we've got two basic things, two basic reasons. We're either moving away from pain, so we're trying to avoid the thing that's causing us pain, or we're trying to move toward the thing that gives us pleasure, right? So what is anchoring and how does that work? So when you create an anchor, it's basically an emotional state. When you're doing something or you're about to do something, whatever that is. Let's say, so for example, I'll give you an example. In about the last 6 months, I lost about 60 pounds. And one of the main ways I was able to do that was I was able to use this. Able to use this phrase. Is this bringing me closer to or further away? Thank you, Grandma Goose. I appreciate that. She said, "Wow, great job." I really appreciate that. It's been a journey. But I'm telling you, this is one of the main things that has been able to help me do this and to keep off the weight and to move forward in so many other ways in life, whether it's mental health, business, career, whatever it is. This is one of the big things. So use that phrase. Am I moving further away or closer to, right? Then you want to anchor it. So for example, when I was trying to lose the weight and I was trying to get healthier, I would see chips are kind of a big thing for me. So whenever I would see a bag of chips, I would really want those, right? I would gravitate toward those. I really want those chips. And I was able to use an anchor. So I was able to feel deep down inside an emotional pain. So I was able to actually anchor a pain, an emotional pain to the thought and to the action of eating those chips. So whenever I saw that, I would feel that pain. And you can use this for words, you can use this for actions. Some people will use anchors in like they touch a certain part of their body, like they can go like this, and it activates that anchor. It can be an emotional state. It can be kind of like a trigger word. It's different for everyone, but the common thread is it has to be emotional. You have to feel that deep emotion. Okay. So whenever I would see those chips, I would really feel that deep emotional pain because I knew that eating those chips was taking me further away from the man that I wanted to become. I didn't want to be unhealthy anymore. I didn't want to go down that path. And guess what? To this day, there's certain, most chips just totally turn me off because I was able to really dig into that pain. You can do the same thing with pleasure. So if you're moving towards something that is going to bring you closer to the person that you want to become, or the career that you want to build, or the goals that you want to achieve, then you can anchor in a really deep pleasure. If think about how that's actually going to move you forward, and you can anchor that in. So if you're making a decision based on your career. Let's say that you need to make, I don't know, 20 cold calls today, right? And you really just don't want to do it, but you think, okay, is making the calls, is that going to bring me closer to or further away from the person that I want to become? And if it's taking you closer, right? I mean, I would think we can agree, if you're a realtor, which is who I mostly serve. I love helping everyone, but that's kind of my niche, is helping realtors get to that next level. And if you're a realtor that knows that you want to meet those goals, that knows that you want to get to that point, then you know that there's certain actions that you have to take that you maybe don't want to do that will bring you closer to that goal. And I know that's true with everything in life. That's true with all of us. I'm just using that as an example. So let's say that you need to make those 20 cold calls, right? Is this bringing me closer to or further away from the person I want to become? So obviously it's bringing you closer. So you really, really dig in and you feel the pleasure of what that is going to get you. Because when you do that, you have the potential of getting more business, right? So another way to frame this that's easier for some people, is ask yourself, if I'm saying yes to this, what am I saying no to? Right? Because no matter what it is in life, no matter where we are in life, no matter what the situation, no matter what the action is, if you're saying yes to one thing, you're saying no to another. And that works in the reverse too. If you're saying no to one thing, you're saying yes to another. So if it's your relationship and you say, no, I can't make the kids game, my kids game, then you're saying or if you're saying yes to the meeting, I'm sorry, I switched this around. So let's say you're saying yes to that meeting, but your kid's game is at the same time, you're saying yes to the meeting, but you're saying no to your kid. And I know it's different for everyone. If you're saying yes to laziness, you're saying no to progress, right? If you're saying yes to the chips, you're saying no. Or if you're saying yes to the chips, you're saying no to being healthy. You're saying no to losing weight. You're saying no to moving forward. So if you think about that and you use those anchors, I would really encourage you today to take these two main phrases. And like I said, if you're saying yes to one thing, you're saying no to another. That one's better for you, then use that one. Or you can use, is this bringing me closer to or further away? But if you use those in conjunction, then you can create these really powerful anchors that you can use every day. Because again, like I talked about at the beginning, we can have these goals, we have these aspirations, we have these things that we want to accomplish, but it's hard to really anchor them into what does that look like today? Because the difference between taking the action toward your goals today and not is, one is a dream, one is a goal, and one is just a wish, right? I wish I could get there. So this is how you keep your goals front and center all the time. So once you've clarified your goals, you got to take action. You got to move toward that goal, and then you have to anchor it in. I would love for you guys to share in the comments if you've used this tactic, or if you are thinking about using this tactic. I'd love for you to share in the comments right now or below if you're watching this later. And thank you for being here. Thank you for being on with me today. Thank you for coming back and watching if you're seeing this later. And thanks for showing up. Thanks for investing in yourself. Maybe it's just a little bit of time, but thank you for investing in you. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'm really happy to be here. And thank you, Grammy Goose, she says, always keep an eye on the goal. Great advice. Thank you. And thank you for being here. Keep growing and empowering those around you. Until next time.